Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and while I'm on vacation, we're going to do some roster reviews. We're going to spin this big wheel and get some names drawn here, so let's get it underway to see who our first roster review winner will be today. By the way, this wheel is really big. It's 2 months worth of names here since June was a little bit slow, so I'm trying to make sure I get through as many of these spins and free reviews as I can in July for all you guys. Our first review today is going to be Fatman. Let's take a look at that roster. All right, Fatman, let's get this started and see what you've got today. We've got Kylo, Relic 8 Kylo. We've got the Finalizer. So this is what I always preach. Well, number 58, though. I feel like you could get some more Executors to that. Or perhaps it's just that you dropped so far with Finalizer. I love seeing the Finalizer Fleet Arena. Maybe you're fighting Executors. Maybe with where you are in the game, you don't have to fight Executors. You're not fighting Executors right now. But, yeah, you're definitely...
Bow to the First Order!
You know, you're definitely got this thing farmed, so you could challenge Executors with this roster. I love seeing that. That is really good stuff. Other than that, the fleets are being farmed. I feel like this is a pretty early game that... Let me see here. You did not... This is just a straight-up Kylo rush. So, First Order TIE Pilot is Relic 3. Special Forces is 5 for the fleet. But First Order TIE Pilot is Relic 3. This is a... I think this is a free-to-play account. I think it's a free-to-play account. And it's also going after Executor. Look at this. Darth Vader here. Dengar. IG-88 TIE Fighter Pilot. So actively working on the Executor as well. And got a Relic Imperial Super Commando along the way. So congratulations to you on that. That's interesting. Do you have... There's Gar Saxon. Now, I'm looking for other Mandalorians. Or do we put those on the Empire, maybe? I guess you could go with, like, Palpatine, Piet, Mara Jade. I don't know what you would put together here. Let's look at some Mandalorians. I'm very curious about this Imperial Super Commando Gar Saxon farm, because generally you put that with a Maul team. But you clearly aren't in a position to have a Maul team yet. You're at 3.3 million with this, really? How much gear? There's a lot of Gear 12 here. Well, not a lot, but there's a fair amount. I'm saying Relic Wampa and swgoh Press right away. Get those guys to max out on the roster. Then you got your CLS team sitting here almost done. So take care of those three things. You know, finish your farms. You got these things farmed on the roster. Get those things done. You got, now, looks like you might be avoiding light side. I don't know. Well, no, Veteran Smuggler. Well, you had to do that for Kylo. So, do you have... Let me take a look at those bounty hunter ships right now. Razor Crest is done, so it's just one more star on IG-2000. And where's that Empire? TIE Bomber needs another star as well. You're right around the corner, man. This is great. And you've already got Piet Relic 8, so this is like an old school free-to-play roster with some new school stuff shown in. But, you know, I used to talk back in the day, and I just talked about it the other day. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and the Executor really roll right into each other as a very clean early game double farm there, right? And I honestly think you should probably start with the Executor first and then go to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but this person's probably fighting off Executor. I mean, we talked about it at the beginning. They're at level 58 in Fleet Arena. That could be because they just drop every day, but they're definitely fighting off other Executors in Fleet Arena right now, if they're this far along free to play. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of input except Relic your Wampa, Relic your swgoh Press, Relic your CLS team after you get your Executor done. I get that Executor done first, then do those things. And then you know the world's kind of your oyster from there. You can do lots of things. You got Iden Versio with their Omicron. Maybe you get a little couple of Imperial Trooper team going, right? Maybe you get a Veers team going and you get an Iden Versio. Maybe you just farm out 2 full Imperial Trooper teams. You'll need to get Range Trooper up. 1, 2, 3. And you got the Omicron and Iden Versio at 5 stars. That's interesting to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that'd be a pretty good mix right there. But yeah, maybe you farm out 2 full Imperial Trooper teams to go along with everything you got so far. I really like this. Let's look at the mods and see what you've got. Kylo is modded pretty well. Pretty well for what you got on the roster here. Was this crit damage? Yeah, it was. So you could definitely use some more speed, but it's not like you're, you know, in... slow land. I don't know what to say. I didn't really work right there, putting that out of my brain. 327 is good. So you've got good speed on your roster. Mara Jade is next. General Hux is next. Is he at 300 or a little bit slower? He's at 282, but he's doing okay with that. The extra speed from Kylo gets him up there. I think you're in good shape here. I really like this roster. I really like the composition of it. You've got the right mods. You got good mods. Got some Zetas here, even on General Veers and Iden, and Wat Tambor has a Zeta. I like the cut of your jib, sir. This is a really nice roster from you. What was your name? Fatman. Well, Fatman, I think you're doing everything right. Keep going the directions you're going because you are making good quality decisions in this game as a free-to-play player. I look forward to maybe seeing this one down the road and seeing what it looks like, but it's time for another review. Spinning that wheel for our second review right now. People have asked me, to do these ahead of time. The reason I like to spin the wheel and it's being recorded or it's live, I don't want people to think I'm picking favorites or choosing what I want to choose. I throw everybody's name on the wheel and I spin it and the wheel tells me what to do. So I'm at the whim of the wheel. Black Hill, you are getting a roster review right now. Okay, Black Hill here, let's get this one going. We're already in Kyber 2 with Kylo with a Kylo Kron and Leviathan. So I don't know how much help we're going to need here, but let's take a look. We got Leviathan, Profundity, Executor. Are all these fleets in line across top to bottom? I mean, it's a pretty nice little everything is there type of roster. There's the Marauder. What am I going to say to this guy? Black Hill, you're signing up for free roster use just to get a flex. What do we got? We're missing one light side. We're missing Rey. Wow, out of all of them to be missing, let me take a look at those resistance here. So we've got Rose's Relic 1. So Rey will be finished soon. I'm actually surprised at a roster like this that the bundle wasn't purchased back in the day. Now this could be a roster that's just been around since the very beginning and is free to play or not like a major pay to play. Or maybe just made a choice not to do that. But we got we see a Traya team down here incomplete. We see a Night Sister team incomplete. And these are the kind of things that would hold you back from being in Kyber 1 for sure. We got, limited Datacron usage. Let's get down through here. Kira, Darth, there's that Traya team Nihilus. Savage Opress, not up to snuff. The Ewoks aren't there. I'm not that worried about that. So it's a really good roster. Really good roster. Missing some of the recent stuff. I find this fascinating. I'm really fascinated that Rey is not on there and Traya is not complete either. That's really interesting to me. This is a speed set on Lord Vader. Now, that says a lot. A 12 speed mod on Lord Vader and a 13 speed. Crit damage, rest is protection, right? Yeah. Clothes. This is really fascinating to me. Kylo's got an offense set. I feel like this is like a day one free to play type of roster, It doesn't seem like anything is completely untoward. There's not some of the signs of pay to play. Now let me see this. Let me see the Gungans here. I mean, maybe back at some point of the game there were funds paid. I'm not saying there aren't, but I feel like right now this is a free-to-play roster we're looking at. And, the mods are okay. They're not great. They're pretty good on the characters here. The Galactic Legends were less good, but they're making an effort. Jin faster than... the mods kind of fall off here after a little while. So we got good top-heavy mods. And then we get down here to Boush Leia. And I really feel like this is a free-to-play roster. I feel like, and you can tell, Black Hill, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. This looks to me like you've been playing since maybe close to the beginning of the game. You've got a lot of stuff on the roster that you've worked really hard to farm over time, but not really invested. Maybe there was some money in the past invested, but now currently, you are not investing money in the game. You're just playing at your own pace. But I get a strong feeling that we've been playing since the very beginning of the game. Not casually, but not cashly. See what I did there? Not using cash to play the game, but modding everything out in a way that's advantageous We got some tenacity here. We got some potency here. We got some crit damage. We got some protection. You know, it really looks like there's the right types of mods, but not world-beating mods, not really farming datacrons. And this roster is in Kyber 2 by the benefit, or through the benefit of it having all the things on the roster, all the Galactic Legends, Reva. We got Darth Bane out there. I don't know if you probably had a Darth Bane Cron. I would imagine you farmed that. What else do we got here? We got, let's take a look at that. I'm sure Darth Malgus has to be on here because we've got the Fury class Interceptor. Do we have Cal Kestis? Let me see here. I didn't look for Cal. There's Cal Kestis. So I do feel like, look at the Mandalorians too. There is not Bo-Katan. So Bo-Katan's not on the roster either. I feel like this is a free-to-play roster that's keeping up pretty well free-to-play, and it looks pretty cool. So good job, Black Hill. Love to hear from you in comments. All right, let's spin that next review for today. Round and round and round she goes. Now this little blue spot here was green last time I looked at it. Now it's blue and it's spinning around the wheel. If you wonder if somebody's got multiple entries, that's not what it is. At that point of the wheel, like it converges together the same color a few times. It's really weird why it does it, but it does. I'm not the software designer. Knight of the Year, let's see your roster. Okay, Knight of the Year, let's get this underway. We got the Geos with the bundles sitting there at the top. Now that's interesting to me. So, you bought a Geo bundle and nothing. I find this fascinating. And there is an Omicron. I've never seen anything like this. There's an Omicron at the top. So this is a new account. Bro had some fun sitting, I just said that, yeah. Had some fun sitting around, burning a hole in his pocket, and decided it was time to go get the Geos in order to benefit the guild, possibly getting those Wat Tambor shards. Probably don't have any yet, right? I don't think I see Wat Tambor. Let's do it. Let's look here. I'm just thinking the only reason I can think of, not the only reason, but you know, out of all the bundles, I like the Geos a lot, by the way, and they're probably doing some good for you right now, Knight of the Year. In Carbonite 3, these Geos are probably insurmountable in Grand Arena, but you put them on the front line, you may get the occasional person beating them with Darth Vader, but probably people are not getting through these Geos in Carbonite 3. Other than that, it looks like we're farming Kylo. We got Kylo, Sith Trooper Hux, Kylo Ren, First Order Stormtrooper, Palpatine, First Order TIE. So it looks like it's a Kylo farm with some side projects going on like Darth Revan. So we got Jedi Knight Revan then too, maybe? No. Let's see all this. This is what an interesting roster. I see not working on this team at all, even though Captain Rex makes it awesome. If we go look at Old Republic, there's no Jedi Knight Revan. There's just stuff there for Darth Revan. And then there's Darth Revan, Bas Lashan. So, a couple of distracting side projects. Let's take a look at those ships and see where we are as far as that for the finalizer. Not close. Not close. Perhaps waiting for another finalizer bundle. I don't think that's the best move. This is really interesting to me. I almost feel like you started with the Kylo, and then the Geo bundle came out, and you said, forget it. I'm going to go get those Geos. Now I'm going to go get Darth Revan, and now you switch to Darth Revan, but you're kind of thinking about the Kylo on the side still, maybe. You got to get to farming. If you're going to do Kylo, you know, you got these two ships. The shuttle isn't on here at all. I do like Special Forces. You should farm the Echelon. But you have no bounty hunter ships. That's not going to get you that finalizer. You're going to have Houndstooth, the Xanadu Blood, and Slave 1 in there for the finalizer. So I definitely would get all those farms going if Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is the one that you're working on. This is so interesting to me. Let's look at Kylo. I haven't looked at Kylo Ren on mass mods in a while because it really doesn't come into the play that much. We got health, defense. You don't need potency. Look, you don't need potency. The things he does can't be resisted. You can't resist tenacity down. It just lands. You can't resist this stun, and that's it. This potency should go away. This should be health or defense. Probably health with everything else. And this should be health as well. Now, you don't have the Scarred Zeta, but you do have a Leader Zeta. I think I would have chosen the Scarred Zeta first. Jubert Alpha should have a speed set. It is a speed set, but it's not much of a speed set. So, definitely keep working on the mods. I mean, you're only 1.3 million. I get it. If I had this roster in front of me right now, I think that I would probably finish the Sith Empire team before I did anything else with Kylo or Executor or anywhere else. I would probably relic up Darth Revan, relic up Basilisk Sean Fallen, maybe start farming Sith Marauder, and I might even go get my Jedi Knight Revan so I can get Malik, because Malik is what really completes this team. So maybe go get Malik and think about that. I wouldn't relic HK-47. He seems really cool, and I know a lot of people are big fans of HK and the meat bags, but he doesn't really fit in anywhere once you get to the mid-game. He can go on this team, eventually you get Malgus on there, and leave him at Gear 12. He'd be fine. Don't add any Zetas to HK. They're just kind of a waste. I would do the Darth Revan team first. I would start getting all the ships sharded up for Finalizer and the Executor. And in the meantime, I might go take a look at my Imperial Trooper team or my Phoenix team and start working on that while I'm getting all the ships sharded. So that's my recommendations there. Imperial Troopers and Phoenix, get those teams, get them going. Well, man, you gotta shard. I get the Phoenix team up and running while you're sharding those ships for the Finalizer and Executor. Okay, we're on to the final spin of this video. It'll be 4 free roster reviews we are giving away today. Round and round and round she goes. And see, that time, now it's green. That little big spot was blue a minute ago. Now it is green. Thank you very much. Or no, now it's kind of the red. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Was it green a minute ago? I feel like it was green when I started spinning, and now it's red. I don't know what's happening. Bounty Hunter 1340. Bounty Hunters. Let's take a look. All right, let's look at Bounty Hunter 1340 here and see what's going on. We got, again, Kylo. We got the Profundity, Erodium 2. When I see Profundity, I automatically think higher than Erodium 2, but let's see. We got that. Let's look through these fleets here. Empire fleet looks like a little better than some of the Erodium ones I've seen previously. Galactic Republic is a pretty good, and that's a bundle fleet, but we have the Y-Wing, so that's a pretty good fleet. We got a full Malevolence fleet, well, 6-star Malevolence, but everything else is there. And we've got the full First Order, working on a 7-star Finalizer right now. We got, Erodium is low for this. This feels like a Kyber roster. Now, we're very short on Datacrons, but you got 2 really important ones there. Do you have Padme? I don't know if you have Padme ready to go. Yeah, I could have put a Padme team together. Farmed gas there with the bundle you purchased. Gas is on the way up. You got gas, Fives, Rex, Echo. Yeah, working on that, and that's coming together nicely. Boy, why aren't you in Kyber? Maybe just not playing? That's a pretty darn fast Jedi Knight Revan. I gotta say, pretty darn fast. I'm looking at mods here because that's a nice mod. I don't know if I'd put crit damage on him. Protection. I don't think crit damage really belongs here, but you know, do what you gotta do, I guess. Yeah, I feel like that should be crit damage, but well, anyway. Find a way to swap out that crit damage with Kylo instead of Luke, but you don't want offense on Luke either. I don't know. I'm very surprised that a roster like this is sitting in Erodium. Darth Bane is there. Really could not use a crowd with him actually, so just got Darth Bane recently. But there is enough juice on this roster. Enough Lightspeed bundle juice. Let's take. Do we have mods? We got some mods on Talia. I want to look at those Night Sisters. This will indicate to me what kind of mod situation we're looking at. Let's look at old Daka's mods. Defense. Crit chance, that's no. No. You really want a lot more health on her than that. And no Zetas there yet on those Night Sisters, so I can see why you wouldn't get them modded up. I don't know, man. I feel like Grandmaster Yoda's even faster than Jedi Knight Revan. And it's the right, well, tenacity. Again, guys, you don't really need tenacity on Grant. He's throwing tenacity out the entire. I never understand a tenacity mod on Grandmaster Yoda. He's throwing tenacity up on everybody the entire match. I guess in between rounds of Tenacity Up when it's not there, maybe he has a chance to resist some debuffs, but I don't know if you need that. We got Darth Malgus on this roster. I didn't even... This roster should absolutely be in Kyber. He is modded for speed there, health. I mean, the mods aren't perfect, but they're not bad. I am really surprised. I'd love to hear from you, Bounty Hunter. Unfortunately, have you missed Star Killers here? Have you been missing rounds of Grand Arena, or do you just not really enjoy? Maybe it's not really your thing. You play it now and again, but you don't really commit to it, because this is a roster that really, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Oh, sorry. From my point of view, I really feel like this roster should be able to climb up through to Kyber. I don't think easily is the word, but it shouldn't be a major inconvenience, especially now that you have gas in here. You should be able to climb up to Kyber with this roster without, like, you know, breaking massive amounts of sweat. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments here about why you're not in Kyber. Now, what's going to be next in this roster? So we've got, let's take the speed out. We got these two. We got Luke Farm. And I'll bet of course, there is the bundle purchase here, right? Okay, and I saw Jedi Knight Luke. Do you have Captain Rex up and running? No. I don't think I saw him. Yeah, get that Captain Rex up. Get him a Zeta on his, get the Zeta here on Lost Commander. And get an Omicron there if you can. Make your Phoenix great again. Make Phoenix great again. I mean, it's a nice roster, dude. It is a nice roster. I'm going to say with Jedi Knight Luke on there, the next thing you're looking at is going to be Leia or Jabba. Looks like Jabba's been sharded, and I think Jabba is coming up next in this roster, and I fully support that, especially for the mod material you're going to get. So, yeah, go get Jabba. You need those mods. You need more mods. You can't ever have enough mods in your roster. And then probably go get Leia after that. Have a good day. We'll talk to everybody soon. That's all the reviews for today. Always, of course, remember, Nooch too good.